Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
This is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media and
Floyd Mayweather, who reportedly earned more than $1.2 billion during his career, is now said to be facing serious financial problems, according to recent CNN reports. Although he regularly displayed private jets, luxury mansions, and watches worth millions, sources claim that heavy spending, unsuccessful business ventures, and rising legal expenses have created major financial pressure. People close to him reportedly say he has quietly started selling assets to cover debts, and some even believe he could be moving toward bankruptcy.
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs.
Floyd Mayweather once stood among the wealthiest athletes in the world, reportedly earning more than $1.2 billion through fights, endorsements, and public appearances. However, reports claim the money disappeared almost as quickly as it arrived. Instead of saving or making careful investments, he continued spending as though the fortune would never run out. Gold-covered private jets and collections of expensive supercars became part of his everyday lifestyle. His desire to appear as the richest and most extravagant athlete eventually outweighed financial caution, and that same lifestyle is now being blamed for his reported financial troubles.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least 400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like 100 million each fight.
I would think
shit.
close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying? You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
all right, let's see what they say. You were. I mean, exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of.
Mayweather became famous not only for his undefeated record, but also for the enormous amounts of money he earned inside the ring. Reports claim his fight with Manny Pacquiao brought him more than $250 million, while his exhibition against Conor McGregor generated similar earnings. He was often recognized as the highest-paid athlete in the world. However, instead of using that wealth to create long-term financial security, he reportedly spent heavily on luxury. Extravagant parties, private jets for friends, and high-stakes gambling became part of his regular lifestyle.
Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back.
Floyd's reported financial problems extend beyond excessive spending. His name has also been connected to several legal disputes involving risky business ventures. In 2022, he became involved in a class action lawsuit related to a cryptocurrency project that many critics described as a pump and dump scheme. Although the case was later dismissed, it raised concerns about his willingness to join highly promoted investments without enough caution. In 2024, he reportedly faced another lawsuit after being accused of instructing his bodyguard to attack a man with the alleged victim seeking more than $3 million in damages. Critics argue these incidents reflect a pattern of risky financial and business decisions.
Explain all that. How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye, We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, and my children.
Joe Rogan, who is well known for speaking, openly criticized Mayweather for what appeared to be a failure to properly handle his tax responsibilities. Rogan warned that regardless of how much money someone earns, ignoring tax obligations can eventually lead to serious problems with the IRS. He pointed out that many wealthy people have experienced similar financial declines for the same reason. Rogan also suggested that Floyd's luxury lifestyle may be hiding deeper financial difficulties and said the direction he appears to be taking is not unusual.
Money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats.
Mike Tyson famously earned hundreds of millions of dollars during his boxing career, but later declared bankruptcy after years of extravagant spending. He owned Tiger's luxurious mansions and even a gold bathtub. Some observers now believe Floyd Mayweather may be following a similar path. Like Tyson, Mayweather regularly displays expensive cars, jewelry, and luxury homes, but reports suggest that behind the scenes his financial situation may be much less stable.
This is your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. It was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada yada yada, it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality, you know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. They start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. They're something special, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching the sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains.
Ironically, Floyd has often spoken about smart financial strategies, including the idea of buying low and selling high in real estate. However, critics believe his actions tell a different story. No one questions Mayweather's talent inside the ring because his defense timing and boxing intelligence made him one of the greatest fighters in history. Retiring undefeated remains one of the rarest achievements in sports. Even so, outstanding athletic ability does not always lead to wise financial decisions. Many observers believe the discipline he showed in boxing is very different from the impulsive choices he has reportedly made outside the sport.
Hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example, I'm gonna just take boxing for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
yes,
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. He became.
Even Floyd's uncle Jeff Mayweather has expressed concerns about his financial decisions. During an honest interview, Jeff admitted he no longer understands Floyd's unpredictable behavior, especially when it comes to investments. He suggested that Floyd often enters business deals without a clear long-term strategy and appears to be driven more by confidence than careful planning. Jeff also said Floyd's large real estate claims have raised concerns among experts who understand the risks involved in those markets.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, you know, to better his life, like, you know, buying homes and buying, you know, different things, and so I mean, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So I mean, I haven't seen him. In quite some time, and I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything.
I know the KSI's team would be happy to make their fight with.
Floyd's reported dispute with the IRS has become one of the biggest warning signs surrounding his finances. Reports claim federal authorities once advised him to sell properties and settle his tax obligations, but he allegedly ignored those warnings despite the potential consequences. When the IRS begins freezing or seizing assets, many experts see it as a sign of serious financial mismanagement. Critics believe Floyd's reported failure to address his tax debt only made the situation far more difficult.